Can somebody share some points? Frankly tell, how many of you gone through this verse or previous verses? Raise your hand. How many of you read? And you should prepare nicely. This is the most important nectar of all instructions. Prabhupada so painstakingly, he translated everything. These books are NOD and Envoy. NOD, Prabhupada used to tell, this is the law book of ISKCON. And Envoy is the nectar of all instructions. If you want to know instructions, read Envoy. How many of you gone through these verses, purport reading? So you all are our future for ISKCON. So we should read nicely, scrutinizing. Reading means not just every day, like whatever we read. That's why I'm going through the purports very nicely, because sometimes students will not read, Prabhupada purports. So we should read carefully. We should share what we have read, because when I was reading this, our teachers are very, very careful that we are hearing very attentively. Otherwise, now only you are not attentive, you are not getting interest, means in future guarantee we will not get. We will not quote Envoy, to others, or we have in ISKCON currently we are getting so many other books. We will be quoting from all those. But this Envoy is very, very, very important. Bhakti Shastri courses. Prabhupada, why they have kept course on this? So we all have to quote examples from where it is told. Envoy, Ishopanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Envodi. You should tell. These are the basic scriptures. If you don't understand this, then it is very difficult. Okay. So, what is Guhyamakyati Prichati? Here it is clearly written. Experienced devotee teaches and inexperienced devotee hears, learns from. That is called Guhyamakyati Prichati. Not Guhyamakyati Prichati from a materialistic friend. What Bhagavad Gita tells about this? Can you please tell me? What he is going to tell? He is a fool. What he is going to tell? कृष्ण ने रासलीला क्यों किया? दूसरों का बतने से बहुत अधर्म किया उसने. कर्ण को क्यों मारा? ये सब नॉन डिवोटीज से सीखेगा, यही सीखेगी. गुह्यम आख्यात पृच्छति डिवोटीज के साथ एक्सपीरियंस इस्कॉन के अंदर. बाहर का आउट ऑफ इस्कॉन वी शुड नेवर हियर ओनली, शुड नेवर एसोसिएट विद दैट. Out of ISKCON we should not hear even once also, like Premanand Maharaj or anyone. So we should be very careful. Nowadays problems are this. Guhyam Akyate Pruchati we should not do from anyone and anyone. The counselors who are under authorities, and those who are authorized devotees, we should follow them. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So, there are four things: giving gifts and taking gifts. Dadati pratigrahati. Guhyam akyati pruchati. Guhyam akyati. One should, one should take guidance and also one should give guidance. Guhyam akyati pruchati. And bhungte bhojayate. We should honor only prasadam, not unoffered items. If you feed or honor unoffered items will get lot of sin. What is the sloka? यज्ञशिष्टासिना संतो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषे भुंजते तो अघम पापा ये पचन्ति आत्म कारण। पाप है वो, जो भगवान को यज्ञ के बिना, यज्ञ शिष्टा, अगर यज्ञ में नहीं लगा हो वो पाप है। बिना भोग लगाए खाएंगे वो पाप है। और श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु हैज टोल्ड, यू नो व्हाट, बाला ना खाई बे आर भाला ना पारे, है ना। ग्राम्य कथा ना करे भी, ग्राम्य कथा ना सुने भी। These are the instructions given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. और जीवेरा लालस होय इति उति धाय, शिष्णोदरा परायण कृष्ण नहीं पाए। अरे अच्छा, रिच लोगों का घर में जाएंगे, बहुत बढ़िया पनीर सब्जी मिलेगा, मस्त, है ना, सब करेंगे ना। एक डिवोटी था, राजश्याम प्रभु बोल रहे थे, एक बार हैदराबाद में गए थे कुछ ब्रह्मचारी, आम रस मिल रहा है बोल के पूरा उठा उठा के पी रहे थे। कांग्रेशन डिवोटी बोल रहा था, प्रभु जी कितना चाहिए उतना पी लीजिए, कोई लिमिट नहीं प्रभु। तो उधर जाके ऐसा पी रहे थे, ऐसा पी रहे थे। कुछ लोग बोलते हैं और दाल और दाल। अरे ये पता नहीं मैं कितना खाता हूँ, ये पब्लिकली बोलते हैं कुछ लोग। ऐसा नहीं करना। should teach, we are setting, we should set good example, ना। भुंक्ते भोजयते जीवा सर्विदम रीति लक्ष्य। There are many details regarding these things. Okay, so these are the 6 types of dealings between loving friends, absolutely necessary even in the ordinary society, social activities, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, you know। Even if you are a non, even if some non-devotees are there, this knowledge is going to help you wherever, even materialistically also। बिजनेस लोग कैसे करता है ना, एक फीस्ट रखता है, अपना बिजनेस का आइडिया शेयर करता है, प्रपोजल करता है ना। सो प्रभुपाद बोल रहा है, एक मिनट। हाँ, वन शुड नॉट एसोसिएट विथ वर्ल्डली संग त्याग सतो वृत्ति। पहले से भी होता है संग त्यागा ना। असत्संग में नहीं रहना चाहिए, ऐसे लोगों के साथ अटैचमेंट नहीं होना चाहिए। जो 4 नियम पालन करता है इसका उनको डाउट करता है, ऐसा लोगों को साथ संग नहीं रखना है, संग त्याग। तो पहले से ही बताया। सो हाउ दिस इस्कॉन इज प्रीचिंग, कोई बता सकता है हाउ इस्कॉन इज प्रीचिंग? कोई बता सकते हैं हम क्या पढ़े, इसको हम क्या करते हैं, इसको कैसे फॉलो
Distributing
करते
prasadam.
हैं?
Prasad.
हाँ
Prasad distribution.
हाँ, द वी शुड भुंगते भोजयते। ये कितना अच्छा है, इस्कॉन में लोग, कांग्रेगेशन भी कितना लोग आता है फिर फेस्टिवल टाइम में प्रसाद खाने के लिए, कितना आनंद लगता है लोग, है ना। और भुंगते भोजयते ददाति प्रतिगृणाति के बारे में इस्कॉन कैसे करती है?
Really preaching and book distribution.
हाँ, बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, है ना। वी गिव some magazines and they give donations, even though it is very small, but they, it is very, but materially it is, it looks like small, but spiritually it is a great service ना। लाइफ मेंबर्स के लिए पूरा प्रभुपाद जी का सेट ऑफ बुक्स देते थे ना। सो दिस थिंग्स आर ददाति प्रतिकृणाति। गुह्यमाख्यात पृच्छति कैसे इस्कॉन सेलिब्रेट, इस्कॉन करती है? हम्म? So they will come and participate and ask questions like how to progress in bhakti.
प्रीचिंग एंड रियलाइजेशन जब वो लाइक जब आगे शेयर करते हैं तो वो शायद गुह्यम आख्या से पूछते हैं।
हाँ, लोग आके पूछते हैं तो हम आंसर करना है कि मैं अगर मेरा परिवार में हम सब डिवोटी नहीं कैसे भोग लगा सकते हैं, ऐसा पूछते हैं, है ना। भक्ति में और आगे कैसे बढ़ सकता है, तो वो सब गाइडेंस देते हैं ना सबको। दैट इज गुह्यम आख्यात पृच्छति, है ना। तो here Prabhupada is telling I handedly started this, and by came forward, and people came forward, but because people came forward are coming dealing with a give and take policy. The society was started saying a give and take policy. The society is now expanding all over the world. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of society's activities. And people are so eagerly accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them in the form of books and magazines. ये practical है, ना? So this we should not forget what ISKCON is giving us, and what give and take, not just give, take, and don't give. It's a give and take policy. That's why donations. If you preach to many devotees, many people, 1,000 people. If you preach to 1,000 people, 1,000 people will give donations, and it will improve. It will expand. So like that, it is practical. Dadati, pratigranati, guhyamakyati pruchati, bhungte bhojayate ja. 3 sets. We should for building relationship and to create a goodwill. Once I was preaching in Burla, and a few years back, at least 7-8 years before, there was anti-preaching in the voice. I said, Radhesham Prabhu, that Prabhu, even though anti-preaching is happening, still we are doing device. So Prabhupada, Radhesham Prabhu seriously said, stop your preaching first. Establish good relationship. Then you preach. Otherwise, your preaching will not have value. So I understood. So Radhesham Prabhu very seriously said, you are taking a knife and you are hitting your own legs. Without guidance, you are preaching. So Radhesham Prabhu very seriously said. I was thinking, oh, Prabhuji will appreciate me. So we have to create a good impression on others. If we are not able to create good impression, then it's not successful. The give and take policy should happen nicely. So we create big festivals and inquire. They come and participate. Kirtans, prasadam. How much ISKCON is giving? If those things are not there, then what will happen? If some people go away, they will understand what they were getting, how they were getting all these things. So it is very important. So sometimes members and supporters inquire very confidentially about methods of performing devotional service, and we try to explain this. So this is Guhyam Akyata Prichati. This is गुह्यम आख्यात पृच्छति. People are how भक्ति में कैसे आगे बढ़े. So this 6 type of loving exchange among the members. In this way, Prabhupada very, very nicely, Prabhupada. In this way, our society is successfully spreading all over the world, and intelligentsia of all countries is gradually appreciating our, Krishna conscious activities. ये आप लोग हाईलाइट करना है, ये हाउ Prabhupada is sharing everything what ISKCON should do, what we should do. with the people, how we need to preach, you know. So if the life of Krishna conscious society is nourished by these 6 types of loving exchange among the members, therefore people must be given chance to associate with the devotees. पहला इस्कॉन के अंदर ये सब एस्टैब्लिश करना है, पहला ये एस्टैब्लिश करना है. लाइफ ऑफ Krishna conscious society is nourished by these 6 types of loving exchange among the members. If among the members fighting is happening, what will happen? Suppose in voice or some temple, brahmacharis are only fighting, or congregation only is fighting. The new congregation or new brahmacharis, what they will learn? So they will learn negativity only. So first of all, this nourished, the society members should be nourished with these 6 types of loving exchanges. जैसा कि मैंने शॉक हो गया कि हाउ राधानाथ महाराज and people they cultivated our क्या big business person Krishna Dharma Prabhu.
कृष्ण चंद्र प्रभु मफतलाल.
Krishna Chandra Prabhu. So I saw एक व्यक्ति, one moon is more better than millions of stars. एक बड़ा, एक MLA, MP, एक प्राइम मिनिस्टर, है ना, सच नाइस सर्विस ना. हाउ मच सर्विस, डोनेशन सब लोग नहीं दे सकते. एक व्यक्ति अगर बड़ा व्यक्ति भक्त बन गया तो कितना दे सकते, है ना. और कितना हम्बल है. और देखो राधेश्याम प्रभु IIT लोगों को भी प्रीचिंग करते हैं, और इतना टॉपर्स को हम्बल बनाना, नॉर्मल लोगों को हम्बल बना नहीं पाते. So great it is. So we should do something nice for the society, and among the members there should be good exchange of these 6 kind of love. This is the nourishment among these devotees. Then only, therefore ये सब बना के बाद में बाहर लोगों को बुलाना चाहिए. नया व्यक्ति देखे, अरे डिवोटीज कितना अच्छा बात करता है, सेवा, अरे प्रभु आप ज्यादा सेवा किया. मंत्रा ने क्या किया कई को, अरे तुम्हारा बेटा दास बनेगा, देखो राम राजा बनेगा, ऐसा चीज घुसा देगा, लोग तो फंस जाएगा. पूरा कोलैप्स. भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर से, देर इज फायर इनसाइड आवर मठ, आग लग गई. This fire is going to destroy everything. Commenting on each other, and finding faults with each other. Seniors are not united. And then what we will preach? No preaching will happen. So this properly, devotees should be connected properly and nourished very nicely, inmates. Then we should show how an ideal devotee should be. Therefore, people must be given chance to associate with the devotees of ISKCON, because they simply reciprocate 6 ways mentioned above. Ordinary man can fully revive dormant Krishna consciousness. जैसा वॉइस में सेकेंड ईयर में शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं बच्चे, तो क्या ऐसे होता है, बच्चे शिफ्ट होने के बाद सेकेंड ईयर थर्ड ईयर्स को देखते हैं कैसे वो लोग सेवा कर रहे हैं, किस एटीट्यूड से कर रहे हैं. वही एटीट्यूड सेकेंड ईयर्स में भी आता है ना. So we should have, this is preaching technique, 6 changes, 6 types of loving exchanges. कभी कभी अगर ब्रह्मचारी आके बनाएंगे या सीनियर आके प्रसाद बनाया, बेचारा उनका भी एग्जाम है, उनका भी कॉलेज है, फिर भी आके इतना अच्छा मधुर स्वीटली बनाया, तो लोगों को कितना अच्छा लगता है. अगर वो दिखता नहीं, अरे वो तो क्या है, चलता है ना, तो ऐसा लोग कभी नहीं भक्त बनने वाले. Ungrateful people cannot become devotees. Should see what I've got, then only we can give something. अगर नहीं ये बोलेगा, ये एग्जाम्पल, अगर मेरा प्रसाद में 6 आइटम मेरा प्लेट में, 7 आइटम बाजू वाला का प्लेट में, He will not be satisfied with six item. No, वो एक item मेरे को क्यों नहीं मिला? Fault finding. Then that kind of people cannot preach. No one will become devotees in that sangha. No? So sangat sanjayate kama. So one's desires and ambitions develop according to company one keeps. Very, very, very important. This kind of, we should stay in the association where 6 types of loving exchanges are happening. We should never stay in that association where these loving exchanges are not there. So one of the students was asking, Prabhuji, I paid for my staying and I paid for accommodation, prasadam, then why I should give easy? So then I said, you didn't understand anything in the bhakti. कुछ समझ भी नहीं आया आप ना, इतना भी नहीं समझ में आया कि आप गीता का हर्ली मॉर्निंग हर दिन कितना घंटा लगता है क्लासेस देने के लिए? कितना दिन? एक साल में 365 डेज होता है भाई। 365 डेज में आपको एक घंटा मतलब कितना घंटा? कैलकुलेट करो। हाँ? प्रभुपाद जी को अपना गुरु ने कितना टाइम दिया, कितना फैसिलिटी दिया, कितना धन दिया, कितना मेंबर्स दिया? Disciple should be grateful. If one is grateful, he will not ask anything. He will not ask anything from Guru. He is just, आपका इच्छा को मैं पूर्ण करूंगा, मेरा इच्छा पूर्ण करने में आपकी इच्छा क्या है ना? This is very, very important. Otherwise, people gets confused. So the understanding of Krishna consciousness is innate in every living entity. So it is a bhakti. Jivera Swarupa, Krishna is Nityadas. Everybody is servant of Krishna. It is innate. You are Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, koi bhi ho. Temporarily they are following these things. But actually, eternally they are servants of Krishna. So that has to be awoken. It is nothing has to be created. So we are discussing from here, Cheto Darpanam Arjanam, Bhavamahadavagni Nirvarpanam, Sheyakkairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidya Vadhu Jeevanam, Anandam Buddhivardhanam, Pratipadaam, Purna Amruta Aswadanam, Sarvatmana Stapanam Snapanam, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. And it is going to be, Param Vijaya, it is going to be ever victorious. No one can stop it. And no big leader or anybody is lost also. This is not going to stop. You know? If somebody who supports, they get mercy. So all glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all dust accumulated for years. कैसे शुद्ध भक्त कैसे बनाना है? माला जप कराना है, भक्तों की संग में लेके आते रहना चाहिए धीरे धीरे. We should show good examples, not bad examples. If you show bad example, they will also become like that. You should be very fearful. Bad example नहीं बनना चाहिए. अगर वो लोग bad example वाले preaching कर रहा है, then whole society will be corrupted. That's why leaders should be very pure. Preaching is not so easy thing. Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur said, gallons of blood is required to make one person into a devotee. आसान नहीं है. So this Sankirtana movement is prime benediction at humanity at large because it spreads the race of benediction movement. It is a life of all transcendental knowledge. So this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is requesting us to make the people chant Hare Krishna. Then only the people's heart will be cleansed. Without chanting Hare Krishna, giving so much lectures is not. So Prabhupada Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur is to see if somebody is writing book, magazine, then how many times he has written Krishna. So this we have to connect people by chanting. Not only is the chanter of Mahamantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibration. That's why Harinama Sankirtan means everybody will get chance to hear Hare Krishna mantra. आपको पता है हरे कृष्ण मंत्र पूरा? बताइए, ऐसा बोलना है या बेकर को कुछ दे रहा है, एक बार हरे कृष्ण मंत्र बोल तो बोल के दे देगा. So they will get sangha of Krishna, this mantra. So making of this chanting Hare Krishna is the one very, 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 very important service, because this is the one which is going to cleanse the hearts of the people. Somebody who is not chanting, how they will heart will be cleansed? No chance. So we'll go through faster. Even souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. Even all other living entities will get benefited by all these things. This was explained by Thakur Haridas when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridas Thakur said that chanting of the holy names is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest parts of the jungle, the trees, animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when we passed through the forest of Jharkhand. At that time, tigers, snakes, deer, and all other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. What is happening in this Sankirtan? Did you observe? They'll give up that animosity. Even animals, एक शेर, एक बालू, deer को, naturally attacks, pounds on the deer. But here, Krishna consciousness people will not fight among themselves. Even animals will lose their animalistic propensities. This is the power of Harinam Sankirtan. Pure chanting what is it? अपराध युक्त नाम नहीं. So how much Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu का कितना निरपराध नाम है, शुद्ध नाम. Even animals lost their envious nature. That is called Harinama Sankirtan. So Thakur said that chanting of the holy is so powerful, even one chants in the remote parts of jungle. ये याद रखना चाहिए, इसके ऊपर PhD करना चाहिए एकदम. So this we need to remember nicely. Okay. So at that time, the tigers, snakes, deers, and other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting Hare Krishna, dancing in song. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. चैंटिंग मतलब क्या है? कोई भी जाके शेर के सामने गए जाके गाएगा, लेकिन उसका एनिमोसिटी लॉस्ट होता है क्या? That is most important. We cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to chant the lower animals, enchant the lower animals, such as tigers, snakes, cats, to advance. But by chanting holy names of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada used this method. And Prabhupada is sharing very nicely. कितना purport है, बढ़िया diamond like purport. Preaching के लिए simple है. What Prabhupada did, we should do that same thing. So, what is a charity? This Harinam Sankirtan is also charity. Dadati pratigranati. Harinam Sankirtan, giving holy name to everyone, is also pratigranati. This also comes under Dadati Pratigranati principle. Prabhupada is telling here very nicely. See, what is Dadati Pratigranati? We should always clearly understand what is Dadati, what is Pratigranati, how ISKCON is giving, how I should give. By the same token, one must also follow pratigranati principle and will be unwilling to be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about Krishna consciousness movement, open his mind in the order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, Guhyamakyate Prachupati principle can be served. Anybody has doubts in this? How ISKCON is establishing these things? ये आप लोग अच्छा से समझ रहे हैं? How ISKCON is doing Dadati Pratigranati Guhyamakyate Prachati. Very nicely Prabhupada is telling. Huh? So the members of ISKCON, ISKCON members and supporters to dine with them, and they hold love feasts in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to honor prasadam, and whenever possible they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them sumptuously with prasad. In this way, both members and the society and the general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so-called yogis, jnanis, and karmis and philanthropists, because their association can bring no one, benefit no one. No? Very, very important. प्रसादम ददाति प्रतिगृणाति भुंगते भोजयते चैव बता रहे इधर भुंगते भोजयते अच्छा से करना है प्रसादम के बिना प्रीचिंग सफल नहीं होगा No, you may do very nice class, but there is no feast, there is no use. If one really wants to attain goal of human life, he should associate with the devotees of ISKCON, Krishna Consciousness movement, because it is the only movement that teaches one how to develop love of God. This is the only religion where we teach how to love God. Religion is a special function of human society, and it constitutes and distinguishes between human society and animal society. Dharma, religion matlab kya hai? To love God and serve God and devotees. This is the difference between animals and humans. If that is not there, then we are animals. Ahara nidra bhayamaitunancha samanyameta pashuvi na samana. Dharmo idesho adhiko vishesho dharmene hina pashuvi samana. So animal society has no church, mosque or religious system. In all parts of the world, however broad and human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines and jungles also have a system of religion. When religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. सवै पुंसां परोधर्मो हेतु भक्तिरादाक्षया हेतु के प्रतीयते आत्मा सुप्रसिद्धति not prasiddhati suprasiddhati. They will flourish, they will be completely satisfied. You see non-devotees, how much they may have. Oh, lucky, I want this, I want that, I'll be satisfied after this. But devotees are suprasiddhati, completely satisfy the self. So what kind of service will satisfy us? Unmotivated, uninterrupted. Ahituki apratiyata. So this we need to go very deeper. If you don't read personally also, we cannot take so much deep in the classes because we have to complete the course. So I request all of you to go through this purport. This verse is very practical. Prabhupada writing for ISKCON, what ISKCON devotees should do. If the members of the human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relationship between men and between nations, they must follow Krishna conscious system of religion, by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna. अगर कृष्ण के अलावा बाकी सब ददाते प्रतिक्रमणाते गुह्यमाख्याते पृच्छति करेगा, ये बहुत डेंजरस हो जाएगा, बहुत खतरनाक हो जाएगी. ऐसा नहीं कि बाहर का लोग पार्टी नहीं करेंगे. But here, Krishna is the center. As soon as people do so, their minds will immediately be filled with the peace and tranquility. The Krishna consciousness बाहर कितना रिलीजन्स है जो कृष्ण से कनेक्ट करता है? बहुत कम। इवन 4 संप्रदाय ऑल्सो, श्री संप्रदाय वाले कृष्ण को ज्यादा गुणगान नहीं करते। इवन 4 संप्रदाय, दिस इस्कॉन, दिस ब्रह्म मध्य गौड़ी संप्रदाय प्रॉपरली ऑथराइज, 100% ऑथराइज्ड, 100% प्योरिटी मिल रहा है एकदम। इस्कॉन मतलब गारंटी बैक टू गॉड, भले नॉट आउट भी रहेगा काफी है। सिर्फ ट्रेन के अंदर बैठो, जंप मत करो। हाँ, ट्रेन के अंदर रनिंग करने की जरूरत नहीं, सिर्फ बैठने से भी ट्रेन लेके जाएगी। इस्कॉन में रहने से हम भगवत भगवत धाम जाएंगे एक दिन। This is a success that somebody preacher who establishes that, staying in such association of devotees, and people are eager to stay in association. Prabhupada said that I built a home, whole world can come and take shelter. No? So we have to go through very nicely, like other acharya. This is what Prabhupada expects. What is this? And if you read other acharyas without reading Prabhupada books, what we will understand, what we have to implement. So we will understand. Prabhupada is writing about his spiritual master, what Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, wants all devotees engaged in broadcasting the Krishna consciousness movement not to speak to the impersonalists or Mayavadis who are always determined to oppose such theistic movements. Should never associate with people. हाँ, आजकल यूनिटी, आजकल क्या सब रिलीजन्स क्या बोलते हैं, ऑल रिलीजन्स कम टुगेदर एंड मीट, रिलीजियस कॉन्फ्रेंस, है ना, जाके हम संग देना है, संग लेने का नहीं। इतना पावरफुल होना चाहिए, नहीं है तो उड़ा देंगे लोग। So the world is full of Mayavadis and atheists, and political parties of the world take advantage of Mayavada and other theistic philosophies to promote materialism. Sometimes they even back a strong party to oppose the Krishna consciousness movement. The Mayavadis and other atheists do not want Krishna consciousness movement to develop because it educates the people in God consciousness. Such is the policy of atheists. There is no benefit in feeding the snake milk and bananas because the snake will never be satisfied. On contrary, by taking milk and bananas, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. Kevalam vishavardhanam. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. For similar reason, we should not disclose our minds to the present serpent, Mayavadis and Karmis. Should not take guidance from these कर्मीस एंड ज्ञानीस, है ना। लोग बोलेंगे, कर्मी लोग स्पेशली, अरे जिंदगी में एक घर बनाओ, अपना घर, अपना सपना, सिर्फ यही बताते रहेंगे, भौतिक चीज इकट्ठा करते रहो। Such disclosures will never help. It is a best to completely avoid associating with them and never ask them about anything confidential because they cannot give good advice. We should never ever take guidance from these karmis, jnanis and yogis. Should take properly ISKCON authorized devotees only. Why we should not take? That is a poison is there. What is sense gratification? And removing Krishna tendencies are there. Nor should we extend invitations to Mayavadis and atheists to accept their invitations. For such intimate intermingling, we may become affected by their atheistic mentality. Sangha sanjayate kama. It is the negative injunction of this verse that we should refrain from giving anything to or accepting anything from Mayavadis and atheists. We should not exchange these 6 loving exchanges with non-devotees, Mayavadis, atheists. हाँ, कुछ लोग बोलते प्रभु जी उधर भी थोड़ा दान दे देंगे ना, वृंदावन में बहुत सारा मंदिर रहता है, उधर भी थोड़ा दान दे देंगे, है ना। मैंने अभी मायापुर परिक्रमा में था, एक ग्रुप आया जापान से, वो बोल रहा है ना 1 लाख, 1.5 lakh rupees our this girl has sponsored in one temple. So Maharaj was thinking, Kavichandra Maharaj was thinking, why they are not giving in ISKCON? No? To give in ISKCON, not to other organizations. थोड़ा बहुत देने में क्या प्रॉब्लम है, दे सकते हैं ना बाहर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. नहीं, we should not do dadati pratigranati and all these things with 6 loving exchanges with these mayavadis and atheists. Vishaira anna khaile tushta yaman. When one eats the food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes wicked. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore, on the principle, one should not accept charity from Mayavadis or atheists. Huh? Can we accept donations from Mayavadis, atheists? Huh? It's a very practical example Prabhupada has quoted here. We should not take donations from Mayavadis and atheists. ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति इन लोगों के साथ नहीं कर सकते. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forbidden devotees to associate even with ordinary men who are too addicted to material sense gratification. स्त्री संगी एक असाधु एक अभक्ता should not associate with people outside too addicted for material sense gratification. So, can we read this conclusion? Somebody?
Tanmay Prabhu, you read.
Yes, Prabhu. The conclusion. The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees, observe the regulative devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, and in full obedience carry out the orders of the spiritual master. In this way, we shall be able to develop our devotional service and dormant Krishna consciousness. The devotee who is neither a neophyte nor a Mahabhagavat, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within the middle status of devotional service, is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friends with devotees, show favor to the ignorant, and reject the jealous and demoniac. In this verse, there is brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees.
So,
According to
this is the
Dadati
conclusion. So, if one wants to observe, one should always, if one wants the association of devotees, what is association we should understand. We should do these 6 principles should be done properly with the devotees and the Supreme Lord, not just staying with the devotees. So this is a conclusion. So we should to stay in association of devotees means what? So we should follow footsteps of acharyas, carry out the orders of the spiritual master. So ये सब करने से क्या होता है? कृष्ण भक्ति उत्पन्न होती जाएगी. Otherwise, in the asat sangha or non-devotees association, Mayavadi association, this bhakti will not sprout. No? So those who are not pure devotees and in between devotees, no. So such middle status devotees, they should show favor to the ignorant and reject the jealous and demoniac. One should not do these six exchanges with anyone and everyone. बाहर लोग तो फैमिली के साथ ये सब सिक्स एक्सचेंजेस होता ही रहता है, बट डिवोटीज के साथ भी होने चाहिए, बट नॉन डिवोटी के साथ नहीं होना चाहिए. एथिस्ट इग्नोरेंट को ठीक है, jealous and demoniac लोगों के साथ तो you should be very careful. One drop of poison is enough to reject. 1 लीटर का दूध में एक बूंद जहर डाला, पूरा के पूरा फेंकना पड़ेगा. So, okay, read in this verse.
In this verse, there is brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees. According to the Dati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50% of his income on the service of the Lord and his devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami has set such an example in his life. When he decided to retire, he distributed 50% of his life's earnings to Krishna's service and 25% to his relatives and kept 25% for personal emergencies. This example should be followed by all devotees. Whatever one's income, 50% should be spent on behalf of Krishna and his devotees, and this will fulfill the demands of the Dati.
50% of the income should be given to who got proper training. They should give 50% to the salary should be given to preaching Krishna consciousness. Many people should get nice facilities for practicing bhakti. This is the acharyas have set an example. But if you cannot do 50%, at least राधेश्याम प्रभु थोड़ा कम किया है, तो उतना तो करना चाहिए. उतना भी नहीं करेगा, हमारे को जब नीड होता है तब कौन करेगा? जब हम मृत्यु पा रहे हैं, तब कौन आएगा आपको हरिनाम संकीर्तन करने के लिए? जब आपका पिताजी मर जाएगा या मम्मी मर जाएगी या कोई मरेगा, कितना आप जितना मदद किया सोसाइटी को, उतना ही आप लोगों को मदद करेंगे ना. So this is very, very important for donation. This is a practical dadati. So one should, Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur is telling we should collect donation, not forcibly. The conclusion is that dadati pratigranati matlab, 1%. I was hearing one class that he was telling patram pushpam phalam toyam. अच्छा बिजनेस है ना, भगवान को एक तुलसी पत्ता दो और प्रार्थना करो मेरे को करोड़ रुपए मिल जाए. अच्छा, बालाजी से अच्छा है कृष्ण. बालाजी को तो 50% देना पड़ता है. कृष्ण क्या मांगता है? पत्रम पुष्पम फलम तोयम, और बढ़िया मेरे को ज्यादा मिल जाएगी. ऐसा, दिस इज नॉट इंटेलिजेंस, दिस इज ऑल मेटेरियलिस्टिक इंटेलिजेंस. कृष्ण विल नॉट अप्रिशिएट दिस. So, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. Devotee should not be attached to money and followers and beautiful wife. So, one should be attached to Krishna. Paisa donation. One of my counselor, Jugal Sharma, is tell. Pocket is kept in the heart. कहाँ रहता है? हार्ट में. पैसा निकालना आसान है. One devotee was telling, people can give blood donation, kidney donation, any donation, but not money donation. I was in Mayapur Parikrama, so they were asking for TOP. Matajis were releasing even their gold ring, gold bangle. I was shocked. For TOP, how much devotees love ISKCON. फंड्स के ऊपर फंड्स मांगते रहता है. वो टीओपी के लिए बेचारा, मैं मेरे डाउट कर रहा था क्या टीओपी बार बार ओपनिंग नहीं कर रहा है, कुछ नहीं कर रहा है, डोनेशन मांगते रहते हैं. Then one Maharaj was telling, actually we are acquiring lands because outside people they are taking lands and building apartments for getting profits. Whole Vrindavan is filled with apartments. All business mindsets. All karmis have occupied this dham. Let us cooperate and help. ISKCON should get more lands and devotees will be filled with that place. Now Vrindavan, all Mayavadis, everybody has there are 5,000 temples. You know, if you don't give donations, if you don't cultivate big people, if you cannot give, cultivate one big rich man, he will give donation. Dadati pratigranati. Give and take policy is very important. Not just taking. That is not bhakti. Taking gulab jamun, 10 गुलाब जामुन देगा, लेने के लिए कोई भी ले सकते हैं. आप 10 गुलाब जामुन खिलाओ, पता चलता है इतना मेहनत करना पड़ता है उसको, हाँ बना बना के खिलाना. ऐसी ISKCON means loving exchanges. Then only relationships will be. अभी देखो कोई भी सेंटर में जो ज्यादा डोनेशन करता है उसको बार बार याद रखते हैं, है ना. हमारा बुर्ला में एक डिवोटी प्रियर्जन ज्वाइनिंग हो रहा था, उसने, है ना, उसको टैक्स एग्जम्पशन में कुछ अप्लाई किया, उसमें 4 लाख रुपए बेनिफिट आया. वो 4 के 4 लाख दे दिया वो बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए. आई वाज शॉक. फिर मैं तो बोल रहा था, अरे प्रभु जी थोड़ा 1 लाख मेरे को ले रखूंगा, 3 लाख आप लीजिए. ऐसा तो कर रहे, लेकिन ही हैज गिवन. हाँ नो प्रभु, ये मेरा नहीं था, टैक्स एक्सेम्पशन मैंने तो लगाने वाले नहीं था, लेकिन ये मैं पूरा के पूरा आया बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. वी गॉट 3rd प्राइज इन द एनवीसीसी बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इलेक्शन. थोड़ा हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कम प्राइस में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर सकता है कहाँ, जो गांव में ऐसा स्कूल्स में, है ना. सो इफ यू गेट money ना, we can do a lot of service in ISKCON. lot of lands has to be, land cost कितना बढ़ रहा है फ्यूचर में. वही अभी जो 1 लाख का 1 करोड़ रुपए लेके डोनेशन लेना पड़ेगा. एनवीसीसी उस टाइम में खरीद लिए थे, कितना सस्ता था. 1.5 करोड़ में 4 एकड़ लैंड मिला. अगर उस टाइम में लोग डोनेशन देता था, अभी कितना महंगा होता था. वो कृष्ण का प्रॉपर्टी रिच फुल हो जाता था. अभी ISKCON इतना, एनवीसीसी कितना शेल्टर ले रहे लोग. ये गोपाल कृष्ण महाराज अगर बोलता तो बोलते नहीं तो कितना लोगों को शेल्टर मिलता था. अभी कैंप टेम्पल है, वो हमारा लैंड ही नहीं, ISKCON का नहीं है वो, अभी तक भी. No, in every center there should be. Now BCEC is coming, Injwadi center is coming. No, we should have our own lands, temples. People will get shelter. If you don't give donation, मंदिर में जो आता है उसको प्रसाद तो खाने के लिए पैसा चाहिए ना. ददाति प्रतिगृहाति गुह्यमाख्याति पृच्छति भुंक्ते भोजयति चैव शरीरम प्रीति लक्षणम. Okay, thank you very much. Any doubt? One, two questions. So I have completed course, but मेरे को कोर्स कंप्लीशन करने के लिए अच्छा नहीं लगता है. ये अगर बताएंगे ना तो बड़ी प्रॉपर, क्या एग्जाम्पल, क्या परपोर्ट है, पूरा ये पढ़ेगा ना हमको क्या करना है, पूरा क्लियरिटी आएगी. सो क्लियर. एनी डाउट्स? If no doubts, I will share one example. I've seen one BTG magazine. I read when I was working. I read one BTG magazine, about one devotee in Bombay somewhere. One devotee had 2 rooms. In the one half room was filled with big Jagannath Baldev Subhadra deities, and his earning was monthly 5,000. And He was every day chappan bhog. Can you imagine? वो ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यम आख्याति भुंक्ते भोजयते चैव, सब मेरे को वही एग्जाम्पल आ जाता है। भले उसका घर पे 2 रूम है, पूरा फैमिली उसमें रुक रहा है, वो क्या करता था, बाहर जाके भीख मांगता था, डोनेशन, है ना, भगवान जगन्नाथ जी को भोग लगाने के लिए थोड़ा ग्रोसरी दीजिए। वो ग्रोसरी लेता था, बाद में भोग लगाने के बाद उसको प्रसाद भी देते थे। कितना भाग्य, वो ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति, ये सब कितना अच्छा होता है। देन आई गॉट सो मच इंस्पायर्ड बाय दैट, सच एन एग्जाम्पल। We should not depend on money only. Should, where there is will, there is a way. So, if any one of you had such an examples, you can share. You should share with others. This is very important. Good examples should be shared, not bad things. Bad is there, Kali Yuga, na? Some mistakes will be happening. You should neglect those bad things. Okay? Hare Krishna. I hope you all have understood, or otherwise just so I'm only speaking. You all should also tell, then we will understand how to go ahead. ठीक है? So next time 5th verse we will take. So this time 4 and 5 we covered. This okay. The 5th verse, 4th verse we took 2 days. 2 days, one. These are till 7th. It will take more time. This is a very important verse. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Sorry, I am coming from Mayapur and train got a little late, and that's why I could not join in time. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.